Sports News on OmniAudio.Africa with Romy Titus and Kevin McCallum.
Every Monday, we check in with Mthokozisi Dube. He is from the Far Post, the editor out there. Mtho, good to have you. But let's talk about administrative errors in terms of a double booking at Lucas Moripe Stadium.
Good morning, Romy, and morning to the listeners. Look, very, very disappointing. Because it was known, weeks before that there would be a fixture. There at that stadium, the under-17 qualifier, and I'm sure when the PSL also confirmed that venue, they should have checked, to say what's happening with the stadium. But quite interesting. I got contacted by one of the clubs in Pretoria, and they said to me, "Look, this is why we've left that particular venue. We've had similar challenges in the past, so it's something new." So I tried pressing them to say, what exactly are you talking about? But they didn't want to speak any further. But so you can, it's a very disappointing administrative blunder that they made.
It's a bit of a disgrace. I mean, I see that they only found out on Friday, and they're not blaming Lucas Moripe, saying the stadium has seen fit to accept a booking. But surely you check that. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, look, and the fact that they say they discovered via social media, it's really shocking. It just doesn't make sense. And I mean, when you also look at the time, between the two games would have been, about 6 hours. So they say, how even if they thought both games would go ahead at the same venue, surely, it just doesn't make sense.
But also, what is the recourse here, Mtho? So we just keep moving and it's just like, oh, okay, mistake. Like, what is the recourse at the end of the day? Because for matches not to go ahead, you have an overloaded schedule already. You have players who are fatigued, who are being injured. You've got training that is, orchestrated towards a certain match and opponents. And now what? We accept this as stakeholders of the game?
Yeah, look, and in addition, you've got a FIFA calendar week, coming. I mean, Bafana going to be playing. A lot of Sundowns players play, for Bafana. So it will be difficult to find a new date for that game. But the clubs would have also spent money setting players to camp and all that.
Yeah, man.
And you and I know for sure that we're gonna move on as if nothing happened. So. That's even more disappointing, because these things will continue happening if no one is held accountable.
Can Far Post, press a little harder?
Post a little further.
No, definitely press.
Pressing a little harder in order to find out how much is Benni McCarthy earning. They're saying 1.1 million. That is not the amount of money that he's earning. I think it amounts to something like 8 million Kenyan shillings. But come on, Mtho, Benny's not going to take a job if it is that, the pocket isn't full. Yes, he's ambitious. Yes, he wants to do it, and perhaps overly ambitious in this regard. But he's not going to do something for Mahala.
Yeah, look, but I think, because I have an idea how much coaches in East Africa earn.
How much?
And I think what the federation is saying makes a lot of sense. Like when I look at how much coaches in East Africa earn. So
How
coaches
much?
in
How
East
much?
Africa.
How much, Mtho?
So coaches in East Africa net between $15,000 US and 25,000 US dollars. So in rands, you're looking at a net salary of about between 300,000 and 500,000 rands net. So what the federation has said is that the salary that the media in Kenya has been running with is not even, if you combine all the technical team members, it's way more than what they earn. So, but when I look at it, an analyst, for instance, in East Africa would be earning about 140,000 rands, net per month. So actually, I think it makes a lot of sense. But also, I think for Benny, having been at Manchester United, obviously he earned way more than that at Manchester United. But he's not been able to get a job before. I mean, this Kenya job, came. So it could be a case of they said, listen, this is what we are able to pay, and the federation is not paying this money; it's being paid by government. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one.
Tricky indeed. I mean, if it is that you had to compare, how much would our national team coach here get paid compared to, let's say, Benny's between 300 and 400,000 rand a month?
Look, in South Africa, you'd be looking at plus minus 1.2 million rands.
That'll do. That's not bad. Yeah. That'll do. I see Sunday we'll think 1.5 million. It's a little bit less than Carlos Alberto Pereira was earning, which was 1.8 when he was in charge of the team before the World Cup. And then he got his brother-in-law, or was his stepbrother, Joel Santana, to come in, and he was getting 1.2 million. So it was just like it was a nice little money maker. But it's good money. But then you would say that Bruce has earned that money at the moment. I mean, he's worth the art.
He's worth his weight in gold.
There we go.
Yeah, no, I think Hugo Bruce he's been exceptional. I mean, when you think of where he took this team before, and where they are now, I think he's done an exceptional job. We would struggle to qualify for an AFCON. I think right now, when we look at the upcoming World Cup qualifiers, you know for sure that Bafana is going to be there. They will definitely, get there because of the confidence that the team plays with. He's actually built a very strong, competitive squad. So I think he deserves more, actually.
Yes.
Bonuses. we like a bonus of South African football.
Yeah. Mthokozisi is going to also come for his commission there. Mthokozisi, Stellies, I mean, their tweet is everything. The sarcasm laced here when they say, Chiefs score, the goal is ruled out, then given, they score again, our cup run ends. Stellies FC, obviously 1, Kaizer Chiefs 3. And they're saying they've seen this story all before unfold right before their very eyes.
Yeah, very, very interesting. And I think it must be noted that there is no game. I think even last week there were refereeing issues. So there is no game, especially these big games that pass that everyone watches. There is no game that passes without any refereeing issues. For me, it says two things. South Africa must professionalize this refereeing thing.
Yeah.
Secondly, VAR must come as soon as possible, because we saw the referee, the linesman lifting his flagging a foul on the goalkeeper. And then we saw the referee going to consult, and the decision being that it's a goal. So you then obviously asking yourself questions. I even tweeted and I said, he's consulting VAR, But when I look at that game, there's so many errors that the referee made. In the first half, there was a pull on Ashley Dupree by Thabo Moloisane. I thought that was a penalty. There was that penalty where Toure raised his hand to block the ball. That should have been a yellow card. Him slapping Sereno on the face should have been another yellow card. So Toure should have gotten a red card. There was a push on George McCallum when Stellenbosch scored there. So there's so many errors that the referee made
but
in
what
that
does
game.
it speak to? Does it speak to the refereeing, or does it speak to favoritism of who is on the pitch at any given time? And we all know where Chiefs are currently, hence I asked this question. Is it favoritism, or are we really questioning the caliber of coaching?
Look, I think for me it's a refereeing issue, because Sundowns were affected. I think we saw the game against Golden Arrows. A clear goal was flagged for an offside, and the coach was fuming after the game. Now it's Kaizer Chiefs. I think there was a week where Pirates also had issues. So I think it's a refereeing issue. That's why I say we need to move towards professionalizing this refereeing thing, because some of these referees they don't have streams of income other than this refereeing thing. So they are I mean, if a club comes and says, "Listen, here is 60 grand," they're likely to take it. I mean, I've seen scenarios where I once confronted a referee during a game in the Mthokozisi Foundation Championship, and because I was seeing the decisions that this guy was making, and I asked him, I said, "But why are you doing this?" It was just a bit of a weird one. Ended up writing a story, and I mean, it got to the SAFA refereeing committee. They said they were investigating, So I think we need to go that direction. Secondly, VAR is must happen as soon as possible. I mean, it doesn't make sense that a league as big as the Betway Premiership doesn't have VAR. When you have countries like Morocco, Morocco has VAR. I think they were one of the first countries on the continent to have it. So I think it's important to go that direction so that these referees can get a bit of help as well. From surely the referee would have gone and checked on the screen to see if indeed there was a push on the goalkeeper and a better decision was made.
Until very quickly, it's all systems go. FIFA break is on the horizon, and everything good at the stadiums. I see that the coaches were there along with the team manager in order just to check out the facilities, and it looks great.
Yeah, it looks great, and it's good because I see the Peter Mokaba Stadium. I think they've made sure that they keep it in good condition. It looks good. We've got journalists on the ground, and they've said the stadium really looks really good. So we await to see who the coach is going to pick. We saw his provisional squad last week, so he's going to trim it. And
he's trying to trim it down this week, right? Thursday. Around this time. Yeah, Thursday. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that. Mtho, thank you so much for your time. Always a pleasure chatting. Mthokozisi Dube there of the Far Post.
Just the refereeing thing is
not the near post.
No, not the new post. The Far Post. I've just been looking at how much they earn, and it's like 4,000 to 6,000, and it's not great. That needs to be a deep
I guess why he also just spoke about that. If there's money in a brown envelope, here you go, versus how much it is that you're taking home. Well, we're back again tomorrow. This has been the Monday edition.
We're coming out after the break.
Are we?
It's Kev's Betway Bets brought to you by Betway.
Where Kev didn't win any money?
No, I didn't win a game, but we're coming up after the break.
Almost left.
Not the sports news on Omni Audio Africa.